Greetings and salutations. Let me go ahead and get at this real quick. Social media created something, created a monster, and they are implicit in the society, uh, in the downfall of society. What you talking about, Big J? See, the thing is, we live in a world that is an anti-intellectual world. When intellect is no longer, when intellect is no longer appraised, where intellect is no longer sought after or put up on high esteem. And that's what goes on with these YouTube streets. No, no, I don't want you to share this. No, no, no. You don't have to do that. But thank you though. Thank you. See, all this starts back in 1987, right? All this starts back in 1987. Well, what does 1987 have to do with this? Well, back then we had a thing called the Fairness Doctrine. And before the downfall of the Fairness Doctrine, we had at least four major news corporations. We got ABC, CBS, NBC, and yes, Fox. Fox Network was just coming up at 1986. So in 1987, we got four basic news, or should I say, media stations, and the rest of it was just independent. And you also have, and I know people will say, well, what about CNN? Well, CNN was cable news, so CNN, you include CNN into that, right? You can include CNN. What's going on, Lawrence? I see you in the chat room. So Ronald Reagan in 1987 said, we need to get rid of the Fairness Doctrine because he was, a lot of the conservatives were against the liberals within the media, right? So he went inside the fairness. He got rid of the Fairness Doctrine, which guarantees fair arguments to be fair, commentary to be fair and equal on a news station. So when he eroded that away, Fox started to create their own news station called Fox News, which was to compete against CNN. And and because of that, we got a Rush Limbaugh exploded on the radio. Fox News coming into existence with Sean Hannity and G. Gordon Liddy and all that. So the more and more we hear all the bickering, right? And then then there was this idea that a lot of our intellectuals were liberal, right? There was a narrative that most of your liberals are your colleges are intellectual, and because of that, a lot of there's been you hear that in a lot of your conservative talk radio, and you got the bunch of Yahoo idiots talking about the Constitution, man, the Constitution. I'm gonna talk about that Constitution in a minute, though. I'm I'm gonna talk about that Constitution in a minute because that needs to be talked about. So hold on, let me check the chat room for a minute. What's going on, Miss Not for everyone? Good afternoon to you. So yeah, but anyway, where was I at? Oh yeah, the anti-intellectual. So back to how conservatives love to use the Constitution, use that against Bill Clinton, Al Gore, whoever is the Democratic nominee at the time, talking about the Constitution. The Constitution says, and here comes social media, especially outside of the Yahoo Messenger, the Messenger of the AOL and MSN Messenger search services. You have things like YouTube and Twitter, Facebook, MySpace coming in the view, and people just spewing their stupidity out for the world to see, and it's celebrated. But then black people, primarily black people, decided to jump on the bandwagon of anti-intellectualism. You got your the so-called conscious community spewing their nonsense, and then though, and I remember people look at people like the entertaining genie, people like the House of Consciousness, spewing this Egyptian nonsense as if what they're saying is true. Knowing the fact these people don't know how to read, and if they do know how to read, they don't know how to comprehend nor put things in the proper context of of it. And because of the anti-intellectualism, I have a disdain for people who goes ahead and tries to make my statements, who try to insult my intelligence. Now, when I ask a question, I expect an answer to that question. There was no such thing as slave ships. Okay, there's no such thing as slave ships. Okay, no, you got this elbow thing, right? There's no such thing as slave ships. Okay, well, who taught y'all English then? If there's no such thing as slave ships, then therefore two things have to happen. How come your name, your last name, is that of it has a Scots Irish last name? Because most black people have a British last name or French last name. And in some cases, some of y'all have a Spanish last name. Well, actually, Portuguese too. Y'all got 4 basic last names. Well, yeah, man. We went ahead. Okay. Yeah, man. We taught the white man English. I'm so tired of you Negroes coming to me talking about we taught the white man English, we taught the white man Spanish, we taught the white man Portuguese, and we taught the white man Dutch, and we taught the white man French. Stop the cap. I'm so tired of y'all coming to me insulting my intelligence. And then some people say, well, Big J, you look down on these guys. Big J, you being condescending. No, I'm not being condescending. I'm tired of people talking to me like I'm stupid, like though I'm stupid. You know what you said is not historically accurate. And it's amazing why these same guys come on social media, coming on these panels and say, well, Well, the black woman don't respect us. Well, I'm gonna tell you why the black woman don't respect y'all. She's not gonna lay it up with a man who is dumb. I'm sorry. Some of y'all say the most idiotic things. You think some woman, you think the African American woman is gonna lay down with you, be next to you, and she's not gonna sit there and say, hey man, I can't deal with this. This nigga's dumb. He can't understand basic basic understanding of words. And what's so sad about it, y'all over the age of 40. I'm gonna state it with some 20-year-olds saying this. You got Ed, what's his name? Dan Conaway talking about uh, Harriet Tubman never existed. She was created. She was a moment. She was a thing of propaganda. Really? She was propaganda. Houseway. Oh yeah, man, because because since they lied about us being Indian, therefore Harriet Tubman, there was no such thing as slavery. Therefore, Harriet Tubman didn't exist. Okay, then who is that black woman right there? There's about seven. There are about 7 to 8, maybe 10 photographs. I said this photographs of this black woman sitting right there. Who is that black woman then? Well, she didn't free no slaves. No, she freed her family. Then though she went through. See, the thing is about these shines is this. Just because just because she did freed her family from a slave plantation in places like um, Maryland and Virginia, does that mean you know what? Does that mean she didn't contribute to society? And then the thing is, this is how stupid they are. And the more I look at that criticism of Harriet Tubman, the more I look at this, this is more about trying to down a black woman. This is a little segue. Let me just trash a black woman. So let me so we're gonna go. We're gonna sound smart, quote unquote. We're gonna sound smart and trashing the black female by sitting there going after Harriet Tubman. But do y'all realize by Harriet Tubman's brothers? I mean, she got two. I think Harriet Tubman got at least two or three brothers who got on ships in the Carolinas and Georgia and allowed those and used those cargo ships so those escaped slaves can get in on them ships and sneak out of the harbors of the Carolinas so they can go up to Canada. And you know what happened to those two brothers? They're dead. Why? Because they went down south doing what men should be doing and fighting battles and wars. They died trying to free slaves in the Carolinas by getting on those cargo ships. Oh man, I can't stand that. I can't stand that. I'm saying right now. I listen. I can't stand that. Talking to me like I'm stupid. And then though these same niggas get mad because I refuse to talk to them. I refuse to talk to them. If you say something stupid, I don't got nothing to do with you. Get the fuck on. Here's the door. Get out. Because you insulted my intelligence. And just what happened yesterday. And I see educated Aries right here. I see educated Aries. See him right here. So that was a spirit discussion yesterday. It was no spirit discussion because here's the thing: if you're going to discuss something with me, you got to be rooted in facts. If you're gonna have a discussion with me, it has to be rooted in fact. It's not like me. See, the difference between a spirit discussion is okay, that's like me discussing the differences or ideological differences between what is a liberal, what do a liberal believe, what does a conservative believe, what a pro-choice believe, what pro-life believes, or whether you are pro-Israel or you want the Palestinian, are you favoring the Palestinian state? Those are spirit discussions. But to sit there and just put out a fact and say, wait a minute, this is the fact. These are facts. These are historical facts. You can't deny historical facts. I was on the panel, and I see educated areas. Now I said the 14th Amendment of the Constitution. This old shine going to talk about. The 14th Amendment says. The 14th Amendment says there's 15 sections in the 14th Amendment. Really? 14 sections of the 14th Amendment, right? So I read him the entire 14th Amendment to find, I forgot what the question was. The question was something about how come there was not race? Race was not mentioned in the 14th Amendment. Or how black people should have been. It was something stupid, right? It was something stupid. So I went and read the entire 14th Amendment, all 5 sections of the 14th Amendment. 5 sections of the 14th Amendment. Do you know this? Do you know one this nigga tried to interrupt me as I'm reading the 14th Amendment? Do you realize this shine trying to interrupt me as I'm reading the entire 14th Amendment? Disproving his stupid ass argument. That's why I got no respect for them niggas over there. I don't. I got no respect for them. You gotta be on my level. If you want to debate with me, have a discussion, you better be on my level. You're too old. You're too old to be that damn dumb. And the only thing this nigga did was, hey, yo, Big J, man, you're 50 years old, Big J, and you can't get pussy. We ain't talking about nothing about no sex. We ain't talking about dating. So why are you talking about that I can't get no pussy or no and I can't get no pussy, nor I can't get a woman, none of that. What does that have to do with the conversation? That's why I like to say, and I told this to Taylor Scott a minute ago, this is why I want to be in a boxing match with some of these idiots. I like to be in a boxing ring with some of them. Just just insulting my damn intelligence, being childish. And then I'm gonna say this too. Right now. This is why the content creator, the channel holder, that's why he needs to understand why people don't come to this channel because that bullshit, he's on. Yeah, I'm going to say it. Because you can't be that damn dumb. And the people on your panels can't be that damn stupid. But that y'all out here talking about, yo man, black men are the greatest. Black men are the greatest. Okay, you said black men are the greatest, then how come though you are destroying your own image by calling yourselves stupid or being stupid? And that's why, that's why I told that's why though, like, it's like what John the analyst said, don't call this a comeback. When he made that live stream, said don't call it a comeback. He's right, because the thing is, he keep falling into that same old trap. Don't understanding why people don't want to fuck with him no more. Because you got idiots like that nigga, and you got the other idiot who wanna talk about the 48 laws of power and shit, and never even read the damn book. Nobody want to talk to them, and nobody don't want to talk to some nigga he always talk about black women this, black woman that, black man stub his toe all day. It's a black woman's fault. Oh, it is a black woman's fault if this happened. Nobody want to hear that shit. You can't create subs, you can't create views off of somebody, off of 2-3 individuals come on your panel all day saying the most stupidest shit in the world. They're not. You think though you're gonna invite a special guest to come on the panel, and that person going to say, and that person going to say something that's very profound or very salient, and then and you got that Yahoo talking about no, listen, man, because Entertainer Jenny said, oh man, right here it says this book called such and such and such and such. We taught the white man English. You think there's somebody gonna take your channel seriously by having a bunch of yahoos around you? It doesn't matter. Doesn't matter if you got rid of this nigga, that nigga off your panel. Guess what? You replace them with somebody who's worse than they are. And I actually said that though the other day. How you gonna replace one dumb nigga with a nigga who's dumber? If you're going to get rid of somebody, you got to replace that person with somebody who's smarter. Somebody who can comprehend words. And I'm going to say something about the Constitution part. Let me talk about that Constitution part. Because I told educated Aries, right, about those white folks over there on Mo Week Duck's channel, right? Because they're part of the problem too. They're part of the problem too. The Constitution, man. Joe Biden is not abiding by the Constitution, man. Yeah, man. Obama did nothing against the Constitution, man. Okay. Then what amendment did Obama, Biden, Bush violate? Man, I don't know, man. It's the Constitution, man. Okay. January 6th is constitutional, man, because Thomas Jefferson said in the Oh, really? But do you know what Thomas Jefferson said was not in the Constitution? Do you know who actually wrote the Constitution? Well, man, man, you're just a Democrat. Well, okay, I'm a Democrat. Okay, then if you're against the Democratic Party, right? If you're against the Democratic Party, then therefore, by that logic, you should be against the Constitution. And then I list down who wrote the Constitution. He's a founder of a political party that we now call the Democratic Party. Oh, I think that was James Madison. We had a president called James Madison. James Madison, along with Thomas Jefferson, along with James Monroe, was a part of a political party called the Jeffersonians, or what y'all call the Democratic Republicans. Well, that political party changed names in 1823. Actually changed name. Yeah, 1828. It changed its name to the Democratic Party, with 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 Andrew Jackson being the first president elected under that label, the Democratic Party. So by that logic, usually against the Constitution. And then though, I told then when I was on what's his name, the Conscious Morons channel. So I was on the Conscious Morons live stream last year. This is like last year or a year or so ago. I was on the Conscious Morons channel. You got another Trump supporter. The Constitution, man, and yeah, man. I said, okay. Then what's the third, fourth, fifth, sixth? Can like you name the Bill of Rights? Oh, the First Amendment, the Second Amendment. If you can't do at least 5 amendments, if you can't just do 5 amendments of the Constitution, because on that, see, and this tells me straight up right here. This tells me you only know the First Amendment and the Second Amendment. That's the only damn thing, 2 things y'all ever know: the first and second. Because the thing is, I'm gonna tell you why they only care about the First and the Second Amendment. They so mad because they want the right to speak, right? They go around talking about they want their freedom of speech, not understanding the minute about freedom of speech. No, Congress can't make no law about your freedom of speech. Your state legislature, state government can't make no law against your freedom of speech. But I, as a private individual, has a right to kick you off of panels. I, as a content creator, can kick you out because I pay for the microphone. I pay for the internet. I pay for my light bill that powers up this computer. So I got every right to kick anybody out as I choose to. You come in my house, say something I don't like, I got every right to kick out my house. It's called property rights. You know, and the thing is, a lot of y'all want to say any offensive things and get away with it. That's why some of y'all are so keep harping about the First Amendment, because y'all want to say any and everything and get away with it. Y'all really want to call black people niggers. Y'all really want to call Hispanic people the S word. Y'all really want to call Asian people by a certain name. So that's why y'all want the freedom of speech. Y'all want that to be protected because y'all like to use those quote unquote racist narratives. Y'all want the freedom to oppress. Y'all want the freedom not only to oppress, y'all want the freedom to harass. That's why I know a lot of y'all who's in that Donald Trump train. That's why a lot of y'all talk about freedom of speech. And they say, well, Donald Trump shouldn't got kicked off of Twitter. Yeah, Donald Trump should have got kicked out of Twitter. Why? You know why? He broke the community guidelines. There's a thing called community guidelines. What part of community guidelines you don't get? Well, the freedom of speech. No, 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 not freedom of speech. Because community guidelines. And since y'all want to talk about the Constitution, if you read in I think in the second the second section or third section, I cannot remember. There's a thing called property rights. So Twitter has a right because Twitter, Twitter has the right to do X, Y, Z. Why? Because it's called property rights. They own that property to do whatever the fuck they want to with whatever product that they have. You say something out of pocket, out of line, they got every right to give you the boot. So fuck that little freedom of speech antics. And I'm gonna say something too. Let's move on to a second thing. The Second Amendment. Man, yeah, man, the Second Amendment. Yeah, man, the Second Amendment. Okay, yeah. What does it say in the Second Amendment? What it says in the Second Amendment was, having a militia, a well-regulated militia. I guess y'all forgot it says well-regulated militia. What does regulated means? Who gets to regulate that gun owner? There has to be some rules in place for that person to have that type of weapon. I'm no fan of gun control. I'm no fan of gun control at all. But having said that, listen, that's what it says, did it? A well-regulated. That means the government regulates what type of gun a militia might have. And if you go back to what is a militia, militia can be described as one person or many persons trying to defend a geographical location. So if you got a bank robber riding up on horses going to steal a bank, I, as a gun owner, can stop the bank robber by myself if I had, if I'm really Mr. Billy Badass that got these guns on me. I swear, people on here don't know how to read. And it's one thing what you said, Aries, that was correct though the other day when you told one of those dudes about the Federalist Papers. How you going to talk about the Constitution when you don't know anything about the Federalist Papers? There was two forms of debate during that time period called. One was called the Federalist Papers. There was another thing called the Anti-Federalist Papers. Well, if you read those two papers, that's those two arguments goes inside those papers was now inside the Constitution. And you got the yahoos who get on panels and just say any old damn thing. Like, really, nigga? You're like, really? Like you really saying this shit? Are you just saying shit, just be saying shit? Or are you trying to educate somebody on something? And I'm going to say something too. I'm so tired of people talking about illegals this, illegals that. Okay, if y'all so tired of these illegals, then y'all need don't go to the border. No, don't go to the Democrats. No, go to the CIA and the NSA. Those are the ones that y'all sent down there, create all these internal unrest, like in Colombia, like in Venezuela, like in Panama, like in Nicaragua, what they did about in 2015. Because those people crossing that border, They're not Mexicans. I can tell the difference. Anybody can look at the people who cross that border and say, hey, man, those people are not Mexicans crossing that border. No. Those people from Guatemala, a whole change of them from Venezuela, and some of those people are from Colombia, Panama. Y'all need to stop the cap. Because I know what y'all stupid ass argument is going to be. Well, the southern border of Mexico have a hardest border. Yeah, they do have the hardest border to cross at the southern border of Mexico. They do. It's hard to cross that border. On the southern border of Mexico. But the thing is, y'all can't sit there and grasp the concept that those people are forced to come up here because we're the only show in town. We in the United States, and yes, in Canada, we are the only show in town. What you think that they're going to do? We created economic problems down there. We created civil wars and shit, and we all mad because the same people are up over there. See, it's kind of like how the British are pissed off at the Caribbeans. Why are the Caribbeans here? Well, maybe because first of all, you enslaved these people, you colonized these people, and after World War II, when the white population got decreased because of the two world wars, y'all went to Jamaica and told those Jamaicans to move to help them with the Windrush issue, the Inrush program, and have them settled up there in the UK. Now though, y'all mad because y'all want these people to go back home. Y'all invite these people over here. Now though y'all scared for y'all race to get blotted out. Now though, y'all want them people to go back home. Get out of here with that. Everybody can see it. Everybody can see it right there in front of you what this really about. Y'all want to use these people, and then as soon as these people are no longer of use, y'all want to get rid of them by stripping away their civil rights and their civil liberties. Get out of here with that. But anyway, I'm tired of that shit. What they need to do, they need to reform the education system. They need to break up. Yeah, I said it. This is one thing I agree with Elizabeth Warren on. Elizabeth Warren, the senator from Massachusetts, she's right about this. They need to break up these social media companies too. I don't care if it's Facebook, TikTok, YouTube, Google, whatever the case might be. They need to break all this shit up. All this is about is dumbing down America down. And that's all I got to say. So I'm done. I'm out.